Yeah, we like me and Son have the go live button. All right, cool. Oh, I forgot this was music playing, but who cares? Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is the legendary, the infamous, the well-known CubanLinxPodcast. It's your boy Juice with your boy Cell, and we've got a wonderful guest in the house, the unluckiest Planeswalker. Introduce yourself, King.
Hey, well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. My name is Troy, also known as the unluckiest Planeswalker, something that's shown in both my gameplay and a lot of the photos I do, dressing up in all these different costumes and showing off my stuff at conventions near you for Magic-related stuff. I do Magic the Gathering mostly, playing card games and working on some cool costumes. Just competed in my first big one back at the end of September and hoping to do even more going forwards.
That's lovely. That's good. Look at that, man. We got diversity. You know, we got male cosplayers on here. Everybody's welcome. You know what I'm saying? If you got a friend who got a friend, bring them onto the podcast. And if anything, it's your boy Juice Lee, aka Juice on Literature, aka Juice Banner, aka Cinq Étoiles, Cinco Estrellas, 5 stars, Funverstern, Piercy Wagner, Panchtato, Nyotatano. You know what I mean? From all my Yoruba out there. And also Black Panther, Prince of Wakanda. And what up, Sal? How you feeling? Oh, he is on mute. Well, Sal will be right with us in a few.
Man. I'm good. I'm right here. What's up?
Talk to him then. Talk to him, Sal.
You already know Black Yusuke, aka Madahochi. What's going on?
Yes, sir. And today we're going to be going through your favorite video game characters, but with Magic the Gathering colors. The reason why I tried to incorporate a little more Magic the Gathering content is because besides Troy, I also play a bit of Magic the Gathering, and I really wanted to help diversify our content. And also, why not have an excuse to nerd out about cards that I already have? Got my Spellcaster deck right here. The Spellslinger deck. Yeah. But besides that, before we get into it, we got some video game news. First piece of video game news is that IGN has released the top best PS2 games of all time. And the list is intriguing to say the least. Starting off, and I won't go through the whole list. I'm just going to go through a few of the hits. They have Guitar Hero 3, Persona 3, Kingdom Hearts 2, Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, Jack 2, Bully, God of War 2, as well as Okami. But I'll be honest. I don't see Sly Cooper on this list.
No, don't.
Unless it's top 3. Unless it's top 3, I did not see Sly Cooper on this list, and that's got me a little concerned. Got me a little concerned that we might have to talk about this.
I stand by Sly Cooper 2, best in the series, and just a overall banger of a game.
Oh no, for sure. I would let you a bigger fan of Sly 3, but I definitely get where you're coming from. I mean, if anything, what's even crazier about the list is that Devil May Cry 3 is in the top 5. So yeah, we gotta talk, IGN. We gotta talk. Cause what? Oh no, we definitely have to talk. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, not even top 10. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go over this list. We got to correct some things. This is gonna be another juice box episode.
I mean, but if you look at like all of the games on the PS2, it is the most successfully selling console of all time. Like, it has won that list, and to say we are the best or top 10 games of the best console of all time, or I say best. I'm biased. I'm a PlayStation fan, so like I say the best. We won that war.
For sure.
But just most popular selling console of all time. So like that's a hard list to fight for.
No, definitely, you're right, and I think that in this case you're dealing with like, and you're talking about a game console that has in its collection of over like 4,000 titles. Yeah, no, like to actually pick a top 10 on that would be a fight, and I feel like it's a fight that Devil May Cry 3 would be top 5 in. But enough of that, right? Now we're going to talk about the savings. The best deals today, including Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater, NBA 2K6, and more. You can save $10 off on Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, specifically on Amazon. Shout out Amazon. You can get the tactical edition for $59.88 for both Xbox Series X and for PS5. Besides that, for $49.94, you can be a proud owner of NBA 2K26. Besides that, if you got like $1,000 lying around, instead of having to pay $999.99, you now have to pay $949.99. So, hey, you get to save $50. Yay! Whatever that means. Finally, Madden NFL 26 is $49.94 on Amazon. And even more so, it is $39.88. So probably $49.94 is when you account for shipping, if there is shipping. Also, if you want to track your phone or track your ex, Apple AirTag 4-pack for $64.99. We at the CubanLinxPodcast do not endorse stalking your ex using AirTags. Be an adult and break up. So, moving on. Also, for my Warhammer fans, you can save $30 on for Warhammer. Bring it down to $39.99. Had to show some love to Warhammer fans. Let's see what's next on the docket. We have some reviews that I'll be going over independently. Yes. While not directly video game related, this does have a lot to do with gaming, especially if you like gaming outside of national borders. The 7 best VPNs of 2025. The number one VPN that people chose was Proton VPN, with the pricing starting at $49.99 a month. $44.49 a month. I don't know where that other number came from. Starting from $4.49 a month. It bolsters 10 simultaneous connections, so that's 10 devices, 12,000 plus servers, 117 countries, and platforms ranging from Windows to Mac to Android to iOS to Linux. You know it's deep when they get you with Linux. And also Android TV and Apple TV. Pros including having one of the largest server networks, and then they're also very privacy friendly with a no logs policy. Only con is if you're getting this on Mac OS, it's not going to look as pretty as you want it. Besides that, we have ExpressVPN at number 2, bolstering 50 cents more on the price, 2 less connections at 8 connections, undisclosed servers, and 105 countries being represented. It's a highly consistent unblocker, but it has fairly expensive subscription prices. And finally, because I'll go over the next 7 in the independent segment, NordVPN, the best VPN for gaming. Look at that. All ties in. With the price of $3.09 or $3.09 a month, let me make sure to specify that. $3.09 a month, you get 10 simultaneous connections, 7,000 plus servers access, and a whopping 118 countries that you can bounce your signal off of. Besides that, these platforms also include Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, Linux, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. Pros, one of the fastest VPNs and having a vast array of features. Cons, the app server map can feel a bit clumsy, but at $3.09 a month, I will gladly learn to navigate a clumsy map for that. And that is that last piece of news. So before we get to the anime stuff, what was it? Let me see. Oh, let's use this one. Yep, Xbox wants to be the Rolls-Royce of consoles. So pretty much, they're discussing how Xbox is now going in a direction to where the reason why their prices are increasing on games is because they want they're offering a premium experience. As a result, expect for a lot of your newer Xbox items to come out more expensive, because apparently they're saying it's premium now. And at that point, like, there's only one thing I'm paying premium for, and it's orange and black. Am I right, fellas? Hell. You know what I'm saying? But for anyone who wants to be able to flex that they got a $1,000 high-end ROG Xbox Ally X, go for it. But like, I'm living La Vida. I'm living La Vida.
Yeah, the famous Ally X that can't even play Xbox games. I'm just saying.
Imagine getting her on for $1,000 and all you get in return is a brick. That's crazy.
Well, no, it can't play Xbox games. You know that, right?
It can't play.
No, it can't take your Xbox library. It can play all the like newer games for it. It can have access to like the Steam OS, so you can run your Steam games and such. But like you could do a Steam Deck. But yeah, it's not really an Xbox thing. It's not an Xbox connected device.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're getting it to hopefully get like a portable version of your Xbox library, that ain't it, Chief.
Yo, you heard it here first, folks. Have fun paying $1,000 for a Steam Deck. Oh man. But that's all we have on the gaming news side of things. If anything, I'm going to pass the ball to. Oh, hang on. So doesn't seem to be in. Hang on. Let me check what's going on. See if there's anything on the hotline real quick. No. Oh, Q is. Well, I see Cell has randomly disappeared. In that case, let me just do a quick emergency check-in. Nothing crazy. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna hear back from him soon. But in that case, as for anime news, Chainsaw Man episode of the Erase arc just dropped, and boy, oh boy, has it gotten some reviews. Honestly, so far, from what I've heard, it's been sounding like crap. Have you heard about it, Troy?
So I have not gotten into Chainsaw Man as much as I had wanted at point. I know the opening's a banger, but like my friends when it was first coming out were like, oh yeah, and then this happens in the story, and I'm like, oh, I just met that character, and that's their body. Oh, okay. My friends are bad at spoilers, and it kind of didn't put me on the series as much. But I have heard that this series has been getting this movie has been getting some mad reviews.
Yeah, like it's like people have been showing plenty of love to it.
Yeah.
Anything, in Cell's absence, I have some news for y'all. For one, Bobo manga gets a new stage play in 2026. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary comedy series is getting a stage play.
I was just gonna say I'm a sucker for all of the good anime stage plays because, like, I don't know how many of like the clips or any of those that you've seen, but they've got some certified bangers out there. Like,
that's honestly, I haven't seen any actually. I need to because I mostly just watch like the only like the last like live action play I've seen was Hamilton because my girlfriend loved it so much. Oh, hang on. And he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, he's alive.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Listen, Wi-Fi went out, so
I was about to take your job, King.
you gonna take my job is crazy.
He was handing me a thing that said co-host resume. I was like, oh damn, I guess if I have to, like that's crazy substitution of the rip.
Getting replaced is crazy. I see how it is, Juice.
I'm sorry, Sal. It's a DEI effort. We had to had up the quota.
Diversity hire is crazy.
Had up the
on
quota.
Our podcast is wild.
Had to add some shades of gray in here. You know what I'm saying?
That's shades of wow. Okay.
But no, please take it away. I was about to go into detail about how there is a Bobo live action play coming in 2026, and then I was about to get into how there's a Japanese anime TV ranking. Oh yeah, that's gonna wait till later. I'm making a whole separate segment about that. We can talk about that later. But so I'll let you take it away. I'm sure you got news for us.
Only a couple pieces, I ain't gonna hold everybody up. First of all, Chainsaw Man, right? That's debuted at #1. It's still number one to this day. So
yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That movie was fire. I saw it Thursday. So
amazing. I'm gonna have to watch it like probably after this episode. Like I'm gonna have to go to my local library. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hop my pirate shit real quick.
A local library is crazy.
It's also kind of crazy getting like sort of back to back like anime successes in theaters because like you get the occasional one. Like I remember Broly was pretty big when like that was coming out and stuff like that. But usually it's
Right?
for like the fans of like those animes might like push hard for other people to go see it. But like Demon Slayer was smashing box offices, and now Chainsaw Man's coming in and doing great. Like continuous, like getting more and more of these successes is kind of crazy.
I'm telling you, like I haven't seen this much. I haven't seen this much box getting smashed since like the last Mario game. You know what I'm saying? Like.
I was so worried where you were going to take that. I was so worried.
Why? I'm responsible. I'm responsible. But no, like honestly, I'm so glad to see anime movies make this much success because now it's to the point where like, hey, if we get enough anime movies out here that are like doing numbers like this, imagine a bunch of like smelly weebs getting ready to go to the Oscars because like a voice actor just got nominated for some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much potential here, and I'm so glad for it.
I think that Broly and My Hero kind of really like started off that whole trend of anime movies for real.
Oh, for sure, 100%. It was for My Hero opening. Like it's crazy to say My Hero opened doors, being that it was such a new gen anime.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. I mean, I feel like Broly was like Dragon Ball finally got like that movie that was like a gangbusters of like the classic everyone knew was going to happen, and then like My Hero comes in with two heroes, and suddenly like everyone's going to see that too, and it's crazy. Yeah, those two are definitely like kind of this predecessor.
And I think in that case, it's like this just really goes to show like anime is art. Like there's so much more to anime than the fan bases, right? So much more to anime than the sub versus dubs, than the power scalers. Like there is an art, there is a community, there's a heart beating in this culture. And I think that's what these movies are here to show us. And I hope that it keeps it going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, and last piece of news I got is Apothecary Diaries has got a season 3 coming and a movie. So
yes, sir. Apothecary Diaries, all my apothecary folks, we here. You know what I'm saying? We turned up. Y'all turned up. Y'all eating. And shout out to y'all for eating. Let me see if I can sprinkle in a little bit of news. Where is it? Hold on. Firefighter Daigo Duo launches a new motorsports themed manga in spring of 2026. So pretty much we're gonna get a motorsports themed manga soon. That's fun. But if anything, also we're getting Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. Yes, as a diehard Dragon Quest fan, I'm glad. But if that's right, if that's all the news we got. Let's get to the reason why we're all here.
Well, one last thing, JJK movie's coming out.
Yes, another JJK movie. Yeah,
that's exciting.
Oh my god,
Zero was so good.
Zero was amazing, and
Zero
like
was so good.
And this next JJK movie is it the Culling Games arc altogether, or is it just Shibuya Incident?
It's a recap of Shibuya that they're doing like the first few episodes of the Culling Game. So it's gonna be the Yuta and Yuji fight.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm so hyped for this.
Crazy.
I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. This is what I wanted. This is what I needed right now. I just need Yuji to beat the brakes off of Yuta real quick. That's all I need. That's all I need. But if anything, without further ado, here's the reason why we're all here today, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people don't see the nerd community as connected as it could be because they honestly don't see the nerd community as like beyond the rogue TikTok or Twitter post. And that can't be further from the truth. And in order to bring that point home, we are today going to go over characters in video games that share qualities with Magic the Gathering colors. And who better to ask than expert Magic the Gathering player himself, the unluckiest Planeswalker.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the colors. What are the colors like in Magic?
So first off, if this is like sort of your new introduction, I'm just going to go on with the idea that you might have heard of Magic. It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, kind of like Pokemon, the card game that people sit down and they play at their local card shop or something and really just grab a deck and go to town. And what sets Magic apart is it's older than the others. It's kind of the granddaddy of the card games, based off of like the sort of Dungeons and Dragons feel back in the day, but it was created by a math teacher that just wanted to put some magic into a card game, and here we got it. So Magic is like the OG granddaddy of them all, and it's had a lot of development over the years. One thing that's important is there's 5 colors of Magic, and we'll talk through each of them and sort of like what they're about. But the main thing is they didn't all immediately, like the different combinations, have names. Like Magic, like all of us kind of grew over the years and like developed and learned what worked, what didn't work, what really didn't work, and what really did. And so a lot of the card games sort of like grew from those lessons.
Oh, that one shot! One shot!
So to give you an example of like what we're going to talk about today, think of it sort of like the Myers-Briggs of card game nerds, where the colors are kind of like the different things that set the different personalities of both the cards and the players that like to use those cards apart. So on the back of each Magic card, and I'll hold this up right here, you've got 5 colors. At the top, we've got white, then we've got blue on the left, black on the bottom left. It's mirrored, so take this the other way around, and then red, and then green. Those are the 5 main colors of Magic, and they each kind of have their own personalities. I wanted to look up when sort of like, because all of them were like in the beginning of the game, they all existed, but I wanted to like learn more about sort of like how these colors have grown since then. And one of the head designers of Magic since 2003, Mark Rosewater, has written over 20 or 33 articles just talking about what these 5 colors mean in different combinations.
33. Good Lord.
Yeah, at least. And so for me to sit here and go, now here is all of that summarized so you have a perfect understanding of all of the colors, is not really realistic. So please take anything I say with a little grain of salt. It has been a long discussion in the community, and I will do my best to summarize it for you.
And we will take all threats and disrespect in the comment section. Just make sure to leave 5 stars right after.
Yeah. Give us the thumbs up, and then just like make sure you can put all the words you got for me in the comments. I'm happy to read them and sort of sulk at the end of it all. So
let's do it.
So let's start with the 5 colors as their own thing. So first off, we got white. White is sort of famous for being like a color of like balance and evenness and kind of unity in that. And it does that, usually I say in a positive way and in like a negative way in Magic. White wants things to be fair and to be like even. So that means you're going to get a lot of effects in what people feel is like a negative way that are like, hey, whatever is happening, we're going to make it even for everybody. You have as many lands as I do, or you're going to have to pay more if I have to pay more. A lot of like evening stuff like that. But generally the sentimentality is like fairness. So it's a lot of cards that are like, hey, we want to like have either a lot of creatures that are working together to build a stronger whole or fight for a central cause. So something you might see in like a lot of anime or video game protagonists. Shout out to Strixhaven Dropout, who did a similar episode on anime. You can go check that out. Look at the playlist. Like look for the video. It's really great.
Exactly. It's gonna be right next to everything else.
And so white is really that kind of energy. Blue is learning. It's that character that pushes up the glasses in the anime. It's the one that wants to like learn more, figure it out. And a villain in blue would be someone who like will learn at any cost. I have to know more. I have to know more, even if it destroys everyone. And so blue is very much that in like how it plays. It's more like an interactive of like, oh, I see you wanted to do a thing. What if you didn't? Or any of those kinds of things there. And so blue is really interactive, but it wants to learn and wants to know, whether that's for good or for bad. That depends on who's playing blue. Then we've got black, which is kind of like the all-arounder. Yeah. Respect. Which is kind of like the all-around color. Its job is to do a little bit of everything, but at a cost. It can destroy creatures, but maybe it takes a little bit of your life in the game away, like not physically, but like your life points. It can do a lot of things. It's the jack of all trades, but it always is going to take a bit of a cost for that. So usually I'll look at the other colors to help it out in how it's managing what it's doing. Black is ambition and greed incarnate, but a lot of people think that's fun. Being a little greedy in your card games is a good time.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
For sure. And then the last two, we got red, which is my baby. I'm not biased at all. I don't know why you said that. That's crazy. Red is like strict emotion, or not strict, but it's emotion. It is the punch him in the face and then be like, oh yeah, why'd I do that? But like it isn't like a dumb emotion. A lot of people go, well, the red mage is dumb. That's because a lot of it is very quick bursts of interaction or very spontaneous. Like red is the first one to show up to the party. They forgot to bring anything, but they were there. Like they are the emotions heightened. They're looking out for themselves in the best and worst ways, depending. They are really in that caring mode, hopefully in a good way. So if you see like a lot of heightened emotion or like a lot of like emphasizing certain details of other colors, that's really a red thing. And then last up, we've got green, which in Magic usually is for nature and like size and growth. So usually when you're showing like strength or something, green is like the epitome of this, but it's also the nature color. It's where you'll find shamans. It's where you'll find dinosaurs. Like green is the big nature color and how they all go together. So that's like the rundown of the main 5 for you.
Nice. That was a wonderful explanation. I ain't gonna lie. And it's amazing. I think that explanation of colors is really gonna help with this list, this amazing list that wasn't made last minute. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really gonna help with that. Let me actually bring out that list right now because I found an alternative. Let's do this. Let's see. Present. And then share screen.
Yeah.
Then let me see.
Do you want me to talk about a little bit of like the naming terminology on the 2 or 3 colors, or?
In that case, I would say, yeah, shoot for it. So yeah, boom. Here's the list. All the characters we have that we're gonna go through, because in this case, what's gonna happen is we're going to discuss the colors for each character, and then depending on what colors we choose for that character, if it's one color, there's just that one color. But if it's multiple colors, then we'll introduce that multicolored name.
Okay, yeah. And just to give a little background to that, these names aren't like technically like you have to call it this. You can say like it's a red and green deck, but a lot of more seasoned Magic players will go, "Oh, that's Gruul, and you should know that." Don't worry about it. Play with your colors, have fun. Over the course of Magic's history, a lot of people just wanted to shorthand saying this is a red, blue, white deck, and that's a lot of words to say over and over with describing your decks. Magic at different points in its history has gone to different sets and different like blocks of cards where they said any card that is like red, blue, and white, there's a group that plays those cards called the Jeskai. And so you'll just hear more seasoned Magic players go, oh, that's a Jeskai deck. It doesn't mean you're wrong for saying red, blue, and white. Absolutely not. But like that's why you might hear, oh, that's a Gruul deck, that's an Abzan deck, that's a Bant deck. It's really all these different color combinations are just they had a specific name at a specific point in Magic's history, and the players latched to it to say Bant compared to blue and green and white deck. Saves a little bit of time.
Makes sense. I mean, I usually just go by like whatever deck I'm running. So I'll name it by the commander. In some cases, like when I don't know the colors, like I learned like what like red and yeah, I don't know if you can see better. Yeah, red and blue is it and all that and blah 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 blah. But usually I'll just say this is the Stella Lee deck, or like if I'm running doctors, I'll say the doctors deck and things of that nature. So even if you don't know the color names, you can always just name it by the deck you're running. So if you're running a Spider-Man deck, it's a Spider-Man deck now. Things of that nature.
Yeah, that works mostly in like the commander format. In every like in all the other formats, you kind of need to know what the whole colors of the deck are because they aren't limited by the commander.
True.
But as far as like in the main popular multiplayer format, which is what he's describing right there, yeah, it works for just here's the card name that's in charge of it because that dictates the colors. So
True that. And I guess in my case, like I've only played Commander, so it's like I'm not really playing Senate anytime soon. I've spent way too much money on Commander.
No problem. So yeah, we got a couple characters here that are definitely spanning across from the most kid friendly to Big Daddy. So we can definitely go through here and see what colors we want to come up with this. I got some ideas already. I know that we discussed this a little bit beforehand.
Yes.
So I first off, what we could do is I'd like to know your guys' thoughts on each of these, and then I can sort of like go back and forth on that of like where I'm coming from like the Magic sort of like background on that. So
for sure.
like yeah. So first off, what do you guys think Jack from Jack and Dexter's colors would be?
So Jack from Jack and Dexter for sure. It's definitely giving red, and I'm thinking green, red and green for sure. Especially given Jack's specific connection to Eco as a power system for him, as well as Jack's impulsive nature to like fight for his friends.
Okay.
I'm saying Gruel.
Do you have any thoughts on the colors? I know that you're not like the big Magic of the trio, but I'd love to know your thoughts.
You know, I lean on Juice and I steal from him. I steal his ideas. So whatever he say, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll rep for the links today. I got you, Sal.
All right. I just don't want to make any assumptions and be like, oh yeah, ready to just not make sure everyone's included. And if you got a character on here where you're like, now as the expert on this bad boy, please feel free to speak up and teach me my place, because I have not played all of the games on here, but I've played a lot of them. So let me know.
For sure.
As for Jack, I could see red green. Gruel is like a 2-color combination from one of those sets called Ravnica, where it was a lot of very sort of like the tribalist shamans are sort of like rampaging the city, but more in a back to nature kind of way. It's we put up a skyscraper in like the middle of the park, and those who loved the park didn't like that, so they took down the skyscraper. It's like, well, they're violent maniacs, and it's like, well, they know what they want and what they're trying to do, and you're trying to build society into that, and they're not for it. But as for like red and green in general, I think that you got it with like emotions and power. I would argue Jack would kind of have 2 cards, because I think Daxter is more the red one. Jack would be more just the green one. And not just because like how they look, but like as far as like the emotional outreach and such. And at least the first game, it's really Jack is walking through a strong dude throwing out hands, and then it's Daxter on his back that's like yelling out and mocking him and all of that stuff. They dance together, but like that's where I see like the red of the pair come from. What I'm curious on though is, did you play Jack 2 and 3?
Because that's where I got the red from for Jack. Because in Jack 2, when he accesses Dark Jack, he starts to like, I feel like his character develops more. Because in Jack 1, it was very much a buddy cop film, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, in Jack 2, it's like, this time it's personal, right? And in Jack 3, things actually come together, and we find out about Jack's background, and Jack has even more involvement in the story. It's like in Jack 1, he's a vehicle. In Jack 2, he becomes a person. In Jack 3, he really sets himself as the star of the show, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, so what I probably have done, I'd leave red for Daxter. I'd probably make just Jack mono green. And then for, we could have done 2 cards, Jack is mono green. But for Jack that's the future games, I kind of think of him as Abzan, which is the name for black, green, white. Black, green, white. Because that way you get the green, which is really a lot of the sort of like world building of Jack and Daxter is like this science and future sci-fi built off of this like green nature-based world. And Jack is like from that past, like from that original grassy world. That's like where the green comes in. But like the black and white is pretty obvious. It's the light and dark eco.
Of course.
Over the second game, he gets the dark eco, gets brooding, says he's going to kill Baron Braxis in his first voice line ever, which is still crazy.
Right.
And then white is the light eco coming in. So I'd probably maybe have him be like a green to cost, but he'd have some kind of ability that's black and white to show that side of Jack. Like, because he's green in the cost to play the card, but he's got some black and white abilities in his chest.
Okay, that would make sense. Because I would say if there were, because I would dig it if there were like, I would say if there was a transformation, but cards are only two-sided, so you can't just have a card that you can't just have a card that flips and says Dark and Light Jack. So if anything, like having Jack with the three colors and then having abilities that say Dark Jack does this, maybe Dark Jack gives a menace.
Or the Dark Jack bomb, or like you could blow up all creatures on the board or something like that.
And then Light Jack being like giving either like giving life back or something like that. Like, yeah. So I could get jiggy with that.
Yeah. Okay. So next up, it's my boy. It's Mr. Cooper himself.
Okay.
I think this one
my
is
goat Sly Cooper.
Huh?
Is it my goat Sly?
It's my goat Sly. I love how Sly 3 is the end of the franchise, and there's no game past Sly 3.
No, that's so crazy.
Yeah,
but Sly 4 wasn't bad. It was just like
what Sly 4?
It wasn't needed. It wasn't needed.
My therapist says it don't exist. I don't.
That's crazy.
We didn't need 4. That's why.
Look, I could go on a 30-minute rant about just Sly 4. Let me know if you want to hear that.
We're gonna talk after the podcast.
But Sly Cooper, as for at least the games that are, real, he's pretty. What would you think that I'd say Sly's colors would be?
I mean, definitely black and blue.
Yeah. In Magic, one of the big things is there are different kind of like mechanical things with the colors. Blue and black not only is like Sly Cooper's like color palette, but it also is a lot of evasiveness. So like being hard to catch, being tricky and all that, and then stealing. It's a lot of like grabbing the top of someone's deck, and then you can play that card now. Like you're committing this theft. And so having him be like a kind of theft commander that's like stealing cards from people, and maybe if you don't play it, you get some treasures or something like that. He's really that kind of character, and it seemed pretty seamless to go into Magic.
Oh, for sure. And if anything, like, especially if you're trying to run like a partner commander type situation, but you can have like big like the doctors, where you can have a choice in who you want to partner up. Also, let me grab my charger before my laptop dies. Hang on. Don't worry. Real soon. Be right back. Right.
Yep. Any of these games speak out to you as like being your favorites or like your MVPs on here?
I mean, for me, Sly has always been like my top 5, like franchise period. Like, is up there with like Uncharted and Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. Like Sly is like that for me.
If Uncharted and Final Fantasy weren't up here, I would have already made sure they were. Or like if they didn't already have cards, I would have immediately like windmill slammed agreed, put those on the list because like 100%.
Oh, for sure. Like especially since Nathan Drake would definitely. I feel like Nathan Drake would definitely have black in him, of course. But like I feel like with Nathan Drake, like I mean he is very impulsive. So I feel like Nathan Drake would have had some red.
So
or at least an ability.
We have a Nathan Drake card. Like they announced that. You want to take a guess at what his color combination is?
I'd say Jeskai.
You were close. Not white. You were right. You got to put the black in there, man.
But yeah,
he's Grixis. He's blue, black, red.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense because blue because he's witty, black because like he's a thief, like, and then red definitely because like he's one of the more aggressive thief archetypes that we've played as in games, like where Lara Croft isn't busting shot like. Where Lara Croft isn't busting shots off until she absolutely has to, and Sly Cooper was literally made for kids, so he's like hitting people with sticks and stuff. Like he's not gonna choke someone out.
Well, you say that, but like frame 1 of his game is a dude got his hand around Sly's dad's neck. Like that is the opening of the first game. Is his family getting taken out? Like
maybe Sly's dad was into that. Maybe Sly's dad was into life.
Crazy.
That's a crazy take.
It's a perfect cover.
Oh my lord!
Said my man was a masochist. That's wild.
But no, well, all that's to say that like But like, also, yeah, that is true. Like that was actually crazy. That probably was the reddest moment in the Sly Cooper series. Like that was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, see Yo really get popped, and then also that would explain why he ended up in the orphanage. But yeah,
that would be why. Yeah.
But yeah, but definitely Sly Black and Blue makes sense because he's consistently Black and Blue throughout the series.
Yeah. And mechanically it works with what Magic is looking to do. It's why Nathan Drake is also Black and Blue, not because he dresses that way, but because it just fits what he does mechanically. And the red, it's Nathan Drake. He's got to have a little bit of that, fiery personality. So
right, he's a young Indiana Jones.
So to finish off the PlayStation trifecta, because once I saw they were doing a PlayStation Secret Lair, I was immediately thinking, all right, what would happen with Jack, Sly, and Ratchet and Clank?
Right.
So
Ratchet and Clank, I would definitely say Just Guy, just because of the artifact heavy influence.
So I would go between. It'd be kind of like it depends on like where in the series. I'd go between Is It, which is blue red, and Just Guy, which is blue red white. Because when it starts, when the games like start out, Clank is sent to the planet, and Ratchet's just working in his garage. Like he kind of like he was like, I don't really want to be here. I want to work on a ship. Oh, this robot's telling me to go on an adventure. I can go do that, I guess. And he wanted to do adventure, but like it wasn't like he was like out there fighting for it right then and there. So he wanted to be a galactic ranger like Captain Quark, but he was really just that guy working on his car. That's why he's got a wrench for a tool for a weapon.
Right.
So I think that the white, maybe if you're leaning into him being that galactic hero by the end of the series, but I think having him be like that innovator, like that engineer working on the machines, and having it be red blue, that's where I'd kind of lean. So one of those two.
That's completely fair. Because I'll be honest, like I started off playing Ratchet deadlocked actually, because I played the games out of order. So I only got in when Ratchet started like having like all the guns and all the tools. It was like a G Unit intro track, and it was just like straight up just like rifles and snipers and all that. You had like the one gun that turned people into sheep and all that. Like that's what I got started in.
Well, so they had that from like the beginning of like the series, but like you slowly get introduced to that. I know Deadlock's tone is a little bit darker than like the other games and such. It's more like a romp through. We're gonna stop Furbies from killing everybody, or we're gonna stop this dude who's gonna try to blow up our planet to make way for a hotel chain, or it was a highway. I can't remember which. But it was like this kind of like comedic intergalactic battling tone, but they've always had like the wacky weapons. So if you want to put in white, so it gives like mechanically more access to like equipment, and you can go get the sheepinator, then like, hey, right. I think that's a good pick.
Like especially if he kind of worked like Cloud, where like as soon as he enters the battlefield, like you could get an equipment.
Yeah. Now, I think Ratchet would be red, blue, white would be pretty good. So next up, I was like, all right, we got all these like fun platform characters. Who do we think is like a little bit different in tone? And so we went with Dragon Slayer, Ornstein, and Smo.
Because I'll admit I'm not as well versed in Dark Souls, but just off of the tone of Dark Souls, like black is definitely a thing for sure.
So it's kind of interesting. Everything in Dark Souls, you could probably argue, well, it's got to have black in it in like the whole franchise. So Ornstein and Smo, to give a little bit of context, if you've ever seen the 2v1 fight in Dark Souls, where it's a really big, larger kind of like a wider character fighting with a dude with a spear that is chasing you down, and the larger character is like the hammer, that's Ornstein and Smo. Ornstein is the dude with the spear. I'd probably put him actually as red-white. So everything in Dark Souls has kind of collapsed. It's like the end of everything. You're trying to reignite the fire and all that. And Ornstein is kind of like guarding the last bastion of humanity, which is Anor Londo.
Right.
So in his mind, like he's doing his job. He was told, guard Anor Londo. You're trying to break in there and cause issues. And he's like, hey, Smo, let's go take this dude out.
Makes sense.
And so he's not really like a like full darkness character. Like there's some that like have literal shadows coming out of them. I can't remember his name. There's a very famous knight that the wolf that has the sword in his mouth. Yeah, it's that knight's sword, and he literally comes out of the darkness to fight you, and like he'd be black. But
Right.
just saying the world's got some issues means it should be black. Well, damn, every card based off of the real world would be black. Like there's issues in a lot of places. It's what we do in that world that matters.
Okay, and that makes sense. Because I guess the tone wouldn't really dictate the color in that case.
Yeah.
And in that case, then I can agree with Red or White because he's clearly duty bound, and
Yeah.
he is aggressively acting out that duty. So hence Red and White. Yeah.
Yeah, you show up and he goes on site and just swings a spear at your head. So like that's
Very Red and White. Yeah.
that's pretty Boros. And plus Boros is like the color of like unity and soldiers and fighters and all that. So it's very much that. Boros is red white. Again, if you accidentally catch it going, what colors is he saying exactly? They're going to write it on the screen, and you might just hear me start speaking in these other names for the colors because it's been so long in my vernacular. I'll try to do my best. Okay, and then for Smo, mono green. Dude is like 8 feet tall, got a big hammer. He's a simple man with a simple plan, and it's to slam on your head.
Makes sense. Mono green is definitely just simple. Is a simple powerhouse.
Yeah, and they probably have an ability, both of them, that if either of them dies, the other gets a power up of some ability. Maybe it's they get counters equal to the other one's power, just because in the game, if you take out one of them, the other gets their powers.
Makes
like
sense.
gets that strength. So you're like, oh, I took down one of the two. This fight should get much easier. And the game's like, oh, that's a crazy thought you had there.
That's silly. But and in that case, like I may be going off of the fact that like a lot of Dark Souls lore has to do with like artifacts and relics. But like if it was like something where like if one of the brothers comes out, then they get a artifact attack, like say like they get like their iconic weapon or whatever attached to them. And then if that brother dies, then the other brother would get that weapon, maybe. But like,
even then,
that's just me spitballing.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I think that the big thing when it comes to weapons and Magic is like we've got cards for the weapons. I think a good example is Cloud when he enters doesn't create the Buster Sword. Like you don't get the cool weapon just because you had the guy. And so like these two might not have their like in the art, it'll show their weapons. They're fighting you and all that. But I think like for iconic weaponry, it usually gets its own card. And like one of the Clouds can search it, but like Sephiroth has no way to get his sword, which is also incredibly iconic. For like you just have to find it if you want to put it on Sephiroth.
True, and that's fair. I guess it's just in my case, like if I feel like if a character is known for their weapon, there should be something to bring it to them. But also, it's fair to say it's also fair to say they have their weapon, but also they still gotta you still gotta find it.
Plus, then you get that fun value as a Magic player of, oh, I got Cloud, I got the Masamune like on the field, and now I'm finally gonna get to equip them. If every time you play the Legend, you get the sword, it's just trivial. You did it, whatever. You played the card,
True.
But you get that extra value and then you get the fun of I played Sephiroth. And then, I drew the Buster Sword. Now I gave the Buster Sword to Sephiroth. And you're like, oh, that breaks flavor, but it's such a fun idea and stuff like that. So you get that creativity. So I think that just having them get some counters or something would be a good way to go about it.
No, that's fair. Because I guess for me, I'm definitely spoiled because I play the first 8 doctors, and with the first doctor, as soon as he touches field, that's a free TARDIS in your hand.
Yeah. So because we could talk about all of these franchises for like 8 trillion years. The next one, nice and clean, Sub-Zero Mortal Kombat. We already got Street Fighter. What do you think the coolest character in gaming, literally, would be color-wise?
Color-wise, Sub-Zero. You're talking about someone who's duty-bound, someone who... Also, just off the duty boundness, I would say at least white.
So I think that now, while you could argue white is in there, again, a lot of characters in gaming are going to be like a good person or like duty bound, and so they should have white in them. But like the other colors don't necessarily immediately have to be like not have any unity or like confidence or such in them. And I know he's fighting for, I believe it's the Lin Kuei.
Yeah, Lin Kuei.
Yeah, Lin Kuei. I think if you had any card that would be mono blue, it's Sub-Zero. He's literally the Iceman. And I'd say either blue, or if you want to put he's really dedicated to the Lin Kuei, blue white. But like you could say Scorpion was dedicated to his clan too, and I'd have put him like red black because he's literally coming from hell.
Yeah, but I think in that case the difference is like with Scorpion, like he's a literal like spirit of vengeance in that case, right? And I think that it's fair to say that while duty is duty to his clan, of course, is like paramount for a ninja, right? It's default. I think the difference between like Scorpion and Sub-Zero in that aspect would be that like with Sub-Zero, a lot of how he developed as a character was based off of that dedication to Lin Kuei, as opposed to Scorpion, who was introduced as Spirit of Vengeance before we got his backstory.
That's fair. Yeah, I would probably put Sub-Zero as mono blue or blue white. I lean towards mono blue because it's more like striking on a card. It could be like Sub-Zero at the beginning when he's trying to get revenge for his brother would be mono blue, and then maybe when he's Grandmaster at like the later parts of the series, he'd be blue white, where he's like found that unity later on.
Yeah, that I can agree with, because in that case, it makes a lot of sense to say Sub-Zero starts off as like, yeah, I'm just crashing out or whatever. And then after he's done crashing out, like doing what he has to do for vengeance, then he ends up being like, hey, now I got to focus on my team and that unity that White is so known for, right?
Yeah.
And so in that case, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I could definitely get behind that. Like a young Sub-Zero, mono blue, older Sub-Zero, blue white, and then alternate dimension Sub-Zero with the swap, I think could definitely go back to being mono blue or blue black.
Yeah, maybe blue black.
Yeah, because he's a lot more cutthroat, right? Because it's literally Scorpion, but as Sub-Zero. So yeah.
Okay, so next up, we've got the game I was playing 5 minutes before we hopped on this call.
Yes,
we got Hornet from Silksong.
How you feeling about Hornet from Silksong? Because I'll admit, once again, Silksong, the entire Hollow Knight like universe is definitely a bit above me. So I'd be leaning on your word on this one.
Yeah, for sure. So who the character is, I could go on like a whole spiel on. Again, we've got like another 20 characters to go on, so I'll keep it short and simple. She's effectively a spider that is the daughter between pseudo god and like a pseudo also incredibly powerful character of like the spider group. So very powerful spider, very powerful worm who the original game saw as like a god called or like the main king of the original game. So like she's their daughter. So she is incredibly powerful. And in the new one, she's going back to she's going to save this other kingdom. And I think that honestly, she's incredibly very white and green, very nature based. I mean, she's literally a spider. And you're fighting and saving a lot of bugs. And I know you're probably thinking, what about black? Because like there's a lot of darkness, a lot of emphasis on the thing called void in Hollow Knight. There is Hollow Knight fans who will strike me down if I say there is any void in Hornet, and they are correct to do so. Effectively, darkness is like its own thing in Hollow Knight. And the main character of the first game was filled with that darkness. They were void. And so like they would have had black in them for sure. The Hollow Knight would have had black in it.
But I was gonna say, but in the case of like, if we were to refer back to our conversation on Dark Souls, right? Like the environment, the tone of the environment doesn't set the tone for the character.
Exactly. And Hornet is like a noble character that's like helping out, doing quests, saving towns as best they can, and like really trying to like redeem everyone and save this new city. So like a green white kind of character they talk very formally. The first, the character in Hollow Knight, the knight, didn't really say anything. And then Hornet's coming in and is like, I'm going to save your town. Do you have any of this item that I need? Like very strict, formal, but pretty strong and very cool character. So green, white, nice, strong, very nature based, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah,
The next one. Yeah. The next one I put as a joke. I think black, red, because that's the colors in the deck of cards. Next character.
I was gonna say, especially with something that's very luck based, like Balatro, I feel like like black would definitely be a part of that.
And yeah, and red is one of the 2 gambling colors. Red, blue are the gambling colors in Magic.
Yeah.
So maybe do like some kind of blue so it can be in a coin flip deck or something like that. But I think that black, red, just so that it can keep the spades and hearts and diamonds and clubs all in there. So maybe some blue.
There we go. Boom.
All right.
Red, maybe blue. And then GLaDOS. Ooh. I got some words about GLaDOS. I mean, blue off top for sure. Like that was it. Yeah, blue for sure. And then honestly, I'd say like pre-crash out GLaDOS would be I'd gamble and say mono blue. I would say pre-crash out GLaDOS would be mono blue. Unless because like also once again, my knowledge of of like Portal is also limited because it's mostly just like I know that GLaDOS before she crashes out is like, yo, this is just a test, da 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 da. And then after the crash out, is like, yo, you're supposed to have died. Why are you not dead? Like, at least from what I understand of the story. So please correct me, check me.
No. So you have a good understanding. I think what's funny is the crash out because GLaDOS in 1 and 2 have like very different arcs. In 1, you go in and you wake up and she's like, all right, cool. We're going to set you through a series of tests. And I just want to learn. We're going to run the tests. That is what I've been programmed to do. Run the tests. And once you finish being useful for the test, she's like, all right, cool. There's a cake at the end of the hall. All you have to do is jump into a fiery death and you'll get cake. And as everyone has ever said on the internet, the cake is a lie and you blow up GLaDOS. And then in the second game, you're dealing with this other robot. You're trying to free yourself from the facility. And then you wake up GLaDOS. And she's like, oh, I remember you. And proceeds to set you through more puzzles. Eventually, you swap her out with the other guy. And she gets put into a potato. And so you and her eventually team up to go take down the guy that you replaced her with. As far as like the controller of the facility. So as far as like in the first game, and I think that like the main motto of what GLaDOS is, it is mono blue. I think you are right on the money. Because like there's not really a maliciousness with it. Like she's not doing it because she hates you. Exactly. She's not doing it because she is vindictive or like very emotionally attached. She's like, you're going to run tests. I'm going to learn from the tests. And we're just going to keep doing that until you don't matter anymore. And that's all. Yeah, and it's very straightforward.
Yeah, and I think that cold, calculating nature could only come from a mono blue, because in that case, just like like especially as a robot, as a digital object, so to speak, like it's gonna be very much just like I feel like in her case, like since she's all about like understanding and things of that nature, I feel like there's an opportunity for like a clue generation.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair thing. So.
In that case, I think definitely just mono blue would be the best way to describe her character outside of it all. And then even like in the second game when she's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm mad," and you did all this, run some more run them laps, keep running laps.
Yeah, she's just like, "Oh, that's crazy. I'm back alive. You brought me back, and you're here. Yeah, you're gonna do more of these puzzles. Good luck, fam.
Like run it. Teach me more."
Yeah.
Like, we got a problem. I need to learn.
So, speaking of you gonna learn today, next up we got Sans from Undertale.
Sans from Undertale. In that case, I'm like, especially given Sans is like, you have to. I'm not a killer, but don't push me attitude. It's very much giving white. I'm thinking white. And I'm thinking white and I'm thinking black are two colors to be added.
Yeah, so I feel like black doesn't exactly fit. Again, black is like the ambition, the like drive to greatness at any cost, like that
That's
kind of
true.
like energy. And I think white is good. He's just a chill skeleton. He's just hanging out. And now what I'd argue color wise is I'd say he'd be a mono white card, but he'd have a red ability that only happens if another creature you control dies.
That makes
Um,
sense.
Sans is the most I'm chill, hands in pocket, let's go get a hot dog or let's go get a burger and just relax until you start murking people. And then anyone who's played the game knows you could regret that decision very quickly.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. Because I think the fact that like it takes him, I think the fact that it takes a moment for him to be red would mean, yeah, it would have to be an ability rather than an actual part of his character because he himself is not red by default.
Yeah. All right. So, and people could argue blue because he always has that motive of like the blue eye and such. He's a smart character, but I don't see it as much.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I feel like in that case, yeah, if we're talking strictly personality, for sure, like, but as you're saying, please.
All right. Isaac from Binding of Isaac. One of my friends asked this be on the list as like a personal request to him. So how much do you know about Binding of Isaac?
Binding of Isaac, I know that it's supposed to be one of the like saddest games in history. Besides that, not much else.
Yeah, it is. When you look at like how it looks, it's like a run and gun kind of like dungeon crawler roguelike thing where you're just trying to survive, beat bosses, get power-ups, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But like the lore and like actual like what you're picking up and such is pretty dark. And I would probably go with black green for Isaac. Black green is famous in Magic for like the graveyard, for dealing with like the gross and the forgotten and the neglected and everything that is the downtrodden. And
Yeah.
so that's where like Isaac gets a lot of his power from. And it's where he finds himself often, like the sewer kind of deal, and like eventually trying to beat his mom and all that. But the black green sort of like that is sort of like the world of Isaac that he lives in and thrives in with all the powers he gets.
I can wholeheartedly agree with that because I feel like for a roguelike in general, green and black have to be the way to go because right, black is also a color that deals with like the graveyard, death, and recursion. And so in that case, like when you talk about a game like a roguelike, yeah, recursion is a significant factor, so to speak.
So so that would be Isaac. I do black green. And then next up, all right. Now here's a crazy one. I've had like a lot of background on a lot of these games. I've played every game up until this point, a substantial amount. I've never touched Kingdom Hearts in my life. Tell me what colors.
All right, no, that's gonna be easy. Definitely white. I'd say white, and I'd say green. I'd say white and green because it's very much like you're talking someone who like follows a code, and then you're talking someone who is like his entire game is about growth.
So
I would say those two, but also please.
So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think white green would be good, or all 5 colors.
Yeah, you're right. Like if you get far enough in the game, you'll understand. Yeah, all 5 colors is exactly correct.
So I think all 5 colors because that also allows like you to play the Goofy card or the Donald card or all of the Final Fantasy characters because we have cards for them now and they can go in the Kingdom Hearts Sora deck.
That would be amazing.
I think 5 colors is good. Yeah, so I again I don't know Sora's personality. I don't know if like that doesn't fit, but I think like all 5 colors. He looks like the definition of my power comes from my friends.
That's exactly it. Like throughout the game, his powers like it's to the point where he is the unknowing carrier of someone else's heart for a lot of the game. Like, that's all I can say because I want you to play the games. If you don't care, I'll say it. But like, yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't know if the person watching this. Yeah, I'm talking to you real quick. I don't know if you're wanting this spoiled, so I'm not going to ask it get spoiled. I got you.
Yeah. See, but what a guy! What a guy! What a guy!
As I spoiled the plot of Portal 1 and 2, and but yeah, I mean, I think that Sora being all colors and being like the SpongeBob card, where it's like rainbow, get all of his friends into the deck, big kind of pile of cards would be.
That would make a lot of sense for Sora, especially seeing how his whole thing is like learning things from different worlds. He himself is multifaceted in all of the abilities he has inside of himself, even besides like the forms. Like, it's especially with the forms, yeah, for sure, all colors does work in that aspect. Where it's just like, oh yeah, like each, and then his abilities could be like each color is one of his forms. Like wisdom can be blue, valor red. You know what I'm saying? Master form white. The anti-form black, things of that nature, like that can actively work in his favor. So I would wholeheartedly say that like you made a really good like not guess, but you did, yeah. You cooked with that.
Yeah, you could have been like, no, he's super strong on this specific point, and I'd have been like, all right.
Well, no, not even because like for one, like an aggressive Kingdom Hearts fan, we call them losers. But like, like because most people who play Kingdom Hearts aren't playing it to like power scale Sora. Because for one, Sora fresh out of the box is like ends up being multiversal. But like even then, like folks play Kingdom Hearts for the love of the game. Like no one's playing Kingdom Hearts to like measure his speed and calculate the angle of the last blast he made against Ansem. We're just here to love Sora because Sora's cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, you've made a really good point with that.
All right, cool. So Sora is all 5 colors. Enjoy all your Sora decks in the future, I'm sure. Next up, we got the Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Okay, in that case, now we're dealing with a mechanical being that does have human, like, of course, like it's a person in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're not robots, right? Right.
I don't know robots, but like it's the fact that like they like it's the I guess the mechanical part. I mean, like the programming, like the actual like brainwashing and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Literal programming.
Exactly, yeah. So in that case, I would say red. And I would say because of the upgrades, yeah, I'll get crazy. Worst that happens, I learn something new. Because of upgrades, I'd take green. So Gruel.
I would probably go either green, black, or, and I think that you touched on something good with the red, because like if you ever seen a mad Big Daddy, that's some red right there.
Oh, for sure.
Red, green, black, also known as Jund.
Red, green, black. I can get jiggy with that.
Yeah, because I think that well, I know a lot of people are like, well, didn't you say that the darkness of the world doesn't dictate the character? Yo, if you've seen the Big Daddies, a lot of their like creation and existence as a character is dark. It is.
Also, you first.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it is dark. It is these people getting put in suits, melded into them, so that if they ever take it off, they die. They are trained, programmed to, they have to save the little sisters or they will die. It is a very cursed existence in all regards. And like, yeah, they're strong, but like they don't want to be that way. Exactly. And so green, black both plays on mutants in Magic mechanically. Are a lot of either green blue if it's like for science, or green black if it's for like the cursed and the graveyards and such. Like a witch curses you and you become a frog, that's some kind of mutant deal right there. So black green is like, the black is like the sort of like ambition that created the green red monster.
For sure. And I think in that case, to build more upon that, like the Big Daddies are also established as like a fixture of the world itself. So in that case, if we're talking about a dark world, and one of those pillars of that dark world are these like brainwashed and soldered police officers known as Big Daddies, then I think that in case would be the only exception to the argument of the world doesn't dictate the character, especially when the character is a literal fixture of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Big Daddies can't leave unless they got, and this would be like a whole Minerva's Den conversation of like, unless you go through a lot of stuff, the Big Daddies ain't ever leaving. They are stuck in that world.
Exactly. And it's okay in that case, yeah. Like that's one of the few cases, like, yeah, the world reflecting their colors exactly. And yeah, so definitely black would be. So I definitely agree with the red, green, black for sure. Because like, but I was gonna say, and then I also say green. I said green mainly because of the upgrades, but also because of like how like a significant part of their like combat is the enhancements they get from those. Well, I know them from like I know them from like Infinite as Vigors. I forgot what they were called in 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're Vigors in the later games. What are they? Are they not Vigors in the first game?
No, not in the first game. In Infinite, I know they're called Vigors, but they're called something else in the other games. Like, and see, this is what I'm talking about. No,
Plasmids.
Yeah, plasmids. There we go. Yeah, plasmids. Yeah, so like plasmids and all that. Like the fact that part of their combat is like randomly enhancing themselves with those plasmids and things of that nature. Definitely green, right? Adding counter, getting it in, boom, 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 combat, fight a character, whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
all right.
I can't wait for Captain Olimar because I have a little idea. I want to hear what you say.
No, it's just kind of funny. I love the tonal shift of video game characters where we're going like, yeah, here's Big Daddy in this terrible world of like an M-rated game with gore and like torture and mind control. Anyways, all right, so here's this scientist that picks plants each day. Like the tone change we're jumping here.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, because it's just like, and imagine going from like Sub-Zero, this like ice-based assassin killer person, to like, oh yeah, honorable bug man whose dad was a worm and whose mom was a spider. Or like,
yeah.
Sora, like friendship is power, to like, please release me from this mortal shell, Bioshock.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the tumble switch. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So Captain Olimar. This is again one of those that I played a lot of GameCube games, but I did not play that much Pikmin. I know you pick up the little Pikmin. I know that there's day-night cycles and you don't want to be on the planet at night. But like outside of that, you're gonna have to teach me on this one, man.
So in this case, like with Pikmin, I think what makes Pikmin quite the game is how it balances like the QT aspects with the battle aspects and things of that nature, and then there's the whole time management. If I had to keep it funky, of course, Captain Olimar, he's like science is like the entire game is based off of like a space exploration with scientists.
Yeah,
so I would definitely have him blue. I would have him. I'd have him blue. I'd have him green. And then, honestly, I have him blue. I have him Bant.
That's exactly what I was guessing on the notes I got. Bant is exactly where I'd put it. And to like break that down, Bant is blue, green, white. Blue, as he said, scientist, like very dedicated to like learning, figuring out more about the world. Like I know he's trying to escape off of it and stuff, but like that's what the goal is. Green, he's picking up plants and they're helping him do missions. That's pretty green. And then white, because one Pikmin can't do much. I know there's challenge runs are like, I beat the game with one Pikmin, but like for 99% of players, you need a lot of Pikmin, is like my understanding. I've seen like an army of those dudes move like a bottle cap. So, and so a combination of unity, plants, and knowledge, bam, we get blue, green, white, which is known as Bant in the Magic terms.
Very much so. And then I think it's beautiful in that aspect because like all that's going on. And then like there's still like the time management. And I feel like in that case, like if Olimar was a card, very much like each color of Pikmin would be an ability. So like you'd have like your red Pikmin, you have like your red Pikmin. I believe it was like fire Pikmin. You'd have like your purple Pikmin would like add 1/1 counters because purple Pikmin are strong. and then you'd have like different things. And as an uncard, like if you had like the Pikmin theme song or whatever, but that's a whole other topic. But like honestly, like having each color Pikmin be like an ability on his card while he's being banned would be amazing. So pretty much like imagine like just imagine like a token generator.
Yeah, I'd get behind that. For the different color Pikmin, I only know them in Smash Brothers. That I think that having the different colors as different abilities or such, or like a different card for a different Pikmin, I think that'd work out. But blue, green, white, I think works for Captain Olimar themselves.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next up, we got the White Wolf himself. We got Geralt from The Witcher.
Oh, so definitely. Oh man, like, Oh, I'd say red. I would say black. And I would say red, black, blue.
Interesting. I had something very different written down, so I'd love to hear your logic.
Red because not because of aggression, but because specifically he is like because of his role of like because his role requires like serious combat training. I would say red because of that, and I would say blue because of his knowledge of spells, and I would say black because I would say I know there's some like I should say I understand that there is to be some like death-based aspect to The Witcher, like not just the world, but to The Witcher themselves. But that's from my limited knowledge of the series.
Yeah. Yeah, so for Geralt specifically, I had red, green, white for a couple reasons. The red, I think you're right. He's very emotional, doing a lot of stuff for love or for protecting people or not for coin, depending on how you play the game.
Right.
But that's really Geralt, and that I think red is very on the money. I think that black, he's not. He's kind of ambitious, but only in those ways that are like more driven by emotion or something like that. Like you're not hearing him going, "I want a castle." That's not Geralt. He just wants to like be left alone, chill, kill some monsters, and go on his way with his daughter Ciri, or daughter, and all that. But so he just wants to chill with Ciri. And then for blue, if there's anyone who's like a master of spells in The Witcher, it ain't Geralt. Geralt is good at spells. He's good at like Ignis. He's good at the little quick spells that you can do during combat to help you out. But like you've got full blown witches in that world that are like master of the arcane arts. And so like those are the characters I put more towards blue. Those that like learn and read up on it. Geralt knows just enough training to stab a ghoul in the face. Like that's all he needs. That's all he cares about is to be able to track and then learn. And like he's a very good tracker, which is more green than he is like a scholar.
That's
so
fair.
Yeah, since he's like that whole tracker, I definitely put red green at least. White was a lot of like he's the white wolf. He is generally on the good side. I'd say red green to red green white would be kind of where I'd put him.
That's fair.
But definitely red and green of like the very like I know he doesn't show it, but emotionally driven character that is like that famous tracker and monster hunter.
No, that's fair. In that case, that makes a lot more sense because, like I said, I was only going off of that, like I wasn't going like for blue because he knows magic, but but due to the fact that like knowing magic doesn't exactly make you a wizard, right?
Yeah,
I
got a couple cantrips. Doesn't mean that I'm like the best magic caster in the world. And like a lot of people read a lot of books that can't cast magic, but like it's that. He's not really interested in like the pursuit of knowledge outside of what he can use to kill a monster.
Then that's fair. That's very fair. And then in black, because I thought there was some death-based aspect to the Witcher, but of course, once again, like that was me, what you call it, going out on a limb.
Yeah, there's a lot of death and rebirth in The Witcher. A lot of characters that would go under the transformations to become a Witcher don't survive it. Same with like a lot of the different characters. There's a lot of death in the series. It does play a big role, but As for like specifically Geralt, while he has like a good amount of friends or such die that he's experienced and like he kills a lot of things, I don't see it as much. I'd put him, maybe you could go Jund, but like I'd see red, green, and then you can argue if you want a third color, if you want white or black. I could see either way on that one.
If anything, I'm more likely to see white because being the Witcher is a duty-bound role. Like it's not even like, oh, he's fighting for the kingdom. Like being the Witcher means this is your job. And not even your job as like you clock in and clock out. This is what you got. This is what you do because you were literally built for that. So yeah, no, I can definitely agree with white.
All right. And now here's one that I had an interesting color choice on. I'm not gonna have you kind of guess on this one because we chatted a little bit on this.
Yeah, and I agree with what you said.
Yeah, Agent 47. So I love Hitman. I think that series is so sick. I've played a good amount of Hitman 3. I haven't played as much of 1 and 2. But Agent 47 is colorless because he can go in and be anyone and do anything and then leave. That is the whole point of him. And like, yeah, there's the whole story of like him being like betrayed and like trying to like figure out his original history and all that. But as far as like moment to moment in the games, he is a blank slate you use to go in, kill a dude with a rubber ducky from across the ballroom, and then dip.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like in the way that like he's not James Bond, where like James Bond would like will disobey orders or he would mess up on a mission. Like Agent 47 isn't given that. He doesn't have that luxury. He just does it. He's the LeBron James of assassinations for sure. And I think that is understandable to that. And I think even more so is the fact that his lack of flavor is like, so to speak, right, is actually integral to his character because it's literally how he was built. He was trained to not be distinguishable, to not stand out. And so in that case, it would only make sense for him to be colorless.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I was at. And if they were going to do like a reskin of a magic card, I was thinking of the card Duplicant, which when it enters, it exiles a creature and becomes a copy of it, or it gets its power and toughness. And like that's just he kills you, he takes your suit and dresses up as you, and he uses that to go kill the guy he actually cared about, or he knocked you out or something. And like, yeah. And if you want a good comparison on that, Agent 47 versus James Bond, the team that made the original or like the Hitman trilogy are also coming out with a James Bond game, and the conversation trees that you can have with James Bond to figure out about your targets, all those talking that you can do, Agent 47 doesn't have any of that. The most words you're going to have Agent 47 are some corny one-liner about how you just killed a man who had probably a family, while James Bond is like doing a whole talk to the bartender, see what I can find out kind of vibe. And like, that's a personality you put colors to. Agent 47 is not, but that's on purpose.
Exactly. And I think in that case, I think it's interesting to have like, it's interesting to say that like, I feel like it's a credit to like the character design of Agent 47 to where you have a character whose personality trait is having no personality. Like, I think, honestly, I feel like that's a testament to what good writing can do, right? Where you're like, you have a character that is literally made to not be memorable to the point where he is literally a number. His name is Agent 47, but he is also that recognizable as a character. Like that's wonderful. It's great, and I think it's very much a marvel of creativity. And yeah, no, like I wholeheartedly agree with him being colorless, and then as well as like the whole him having the duplicate ability would be great because like that's what he does. He gets you out of his way, and then he goes to do what he has to do.
Yeah. So that would be Agent 47.
In that case, Joker from Persona 5. I want to hear this.
I know it's on the list, but you still didn't see it coming.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. This guy. Yeah, no.
So corny. Oh my god.
But I want to hear how you feel about Joker from Persona 5 because I may differ from you.
Yeah. So, and we can always swap it up. I know I've been putting a lot on you to like come up with yours, and then I'll disagree with it. I can always go first, and then you let me know what you're thinking if you disagree with on that too.
Oh, no, it's a conversation. Yeah.
For Joker, red black. For a couple reasons. One, he is incredibly ambitious in what he's trying to do. He is going into people's minds. He is doing all of this stuff to like further either the agenda of like, yo, this teacher sucks and I need to get rid of him, to this dude got me kicked out of like from my parents because he blamed me for committing a crime when I caught him doing one, to like, I'm gonna go fight God, as every anime protagonist ever will get to at some point. Like I'm just gonna go fist fight the heavens. That's how an RPG has to end. And as for like mechanically, black and red, black deals with a lot of like mind-based cards, Thoughtseize, Inquisition of Kozilek, which are all like ripping cards from someone's mind.
Right.
And red does a lot of thieving, and so does black. Same with blue. And so black does a lot of thieving. Red does a lot of thieving off the top of people's libraries when you deal combat damage. It's that emotion. Again, a lot of the games are the emotions that you're trying to control in people's heads. And that's very red and that's very black. You can always argue blue in this point, but I think red and black cover it enough that it's always easy to say, well, they're a little bit of this color, so let's just throw that in there. And so trying to not have as many colors if the others already cover what you're dealing with is usually what I lean on. So I'd go red black.
Honestly, you got me. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was gonna say, I was swinging for the fences here, and I was going to say, due to the fact that he is the wild card, and has access to every arcana, I was gonna say all colors. I ain't gonna lie. Very bold.
You know what? We split it kind of in the middle. He's a red black like casting cost, but he's got a 5-color ability, so you can put all of them in there.
I would definitely do that. Yes, because like his 5-color ability could be like wild card and like bring bring something out or whatever. But like, yeah, in that case, I can definitely agree with that, because it's very much like the character Joker is not all color. I think we can agree, because the character Joker is built off of ambition and how he executes the ambition, black and red, for sure.
Yeah.
And then everything else he does internally is where the all color stuff comes in. But he's not into this. He's not in this on some kumbaya shit. He is trying to avoid prison. He is trying to get out of jail.
My man will do a lot of crime to not get caught for the crimes he didn't commit, which is some kind of irony.
You know what I'm saying? And I think in that case, for sure, red and black is definitely the way to go.
All right.
Boom. And then Shepard. Okay, this is definitely gonna be more of your walk in the park. But I'll be honest, it's Mass Effect. Loosely what Edge of Eternity was based off of. I'm gonna say
Just Guy. I was probably gonna go Boros, because there's a lot of characters on his ship that are more like the blue characters of that world that he probably leans on more. Right. Gareth is one that is like the intellectual kind of deal. Like there's a lot of characters that are like more his characters that he leans on for that intelligence of like all right, status report, like who can you tell me what's going on. Shepard themselves is like the good soldier. They're the best soldier humanity has to offer.
And that I can agree with wholeheartedly, especially since those are the only 2 traits that aren't affected by player interaction.
Yep.
Everything else can be affected. Like you can make a blue Shepard if you make smart choices, or you can make a black Shepard if you make more ambitious choices.
Yeah, Black Shepherd's kind of tricky. You're always supposed to be a noble. So as far as how it works, you're always a noble soldier going to save humanity and such. It's more, are you a dick or are you the sweet angel? And that's really where it sort of goes on that point. You're never trying to be more like manipulative or ambitious or like turn evil or any of that like that. That's just not in the games. It's usually like how kind-hearted versus how like easier road you'll go. So like Renegade versus Paragon. But like it's not like Renegade is, so now I'm gonna go kick a puppy. It's like, well, that doesn't track. But if it means, oh, I don't have to go save that guy, sure, I'll save my own. I'll save me some time. Like as long as I'm getting the mission done and I'm saving the universe, that's fine. So I don't know if I'd put black in there. Blue, if you want to say like, oh, they're like getting all these stat boosts and such. But even then, again, I'd say a lot of his shipmates are more blue. But I could see it a little bit more, but I don't see as much black.
And that's fine. I can definitely stick with Boros because in that case, like, right, I'm just speaking from what I understand of the Mass Effect series. So no, I definitely would default to you on that.
Yeah, and I'm going off of a when I was talking to my friend about how I was coming on and I was excited for this. He's like, "You got to put Shepard on there." I'm gonna go on a 20-minute tirade about Mass Effect, and I'm like, "Okay." It's his favorite game of all time, so he wanted to make sure that voice is heard.
Hey, understandable. Shout out to that boy. What's good, man? We got you on. You know, we got Shepard. We were treating him with respect.
God. Now, speaking of, you were immediately coming for people's throats when this wasn't on the top 5. Where's that DMC love coming at, Juice?
For sure. So
we've got Dante up next. So what you got?
For Dante, easily, you're talking about someone who is like, if we're talking about strictly personality wise, easily white. I would definitely say, I'll say white, blue, black.
That is interesting. So again, I agree with you. I agree with you a good amount. I don't see the blue. I don't see the blue. I see red.
You right?
He is the most emotional. I'm gonna ride on a guitar. I'm gonna do a guitar solo after kicking this boss in the face and eating a slice of pizza, dude, I've ever seen.
Because I think in that case, like, in that case, I definitely could be confusing like talent for knowledge, and that's a completely understandable. Because I feel like because like if I'm being for real, like him being able to touch a guitar and play instantly is not a knowledge feat. That is a wisdom feat, or not in wisdom. Like that'd be like a dex feat or something. Like he's done dex feats and things like that. But like, I guess the best way to put it is like, there's no action scene of Dante solving a puzzle. Like the action scenes would be like him like jumping over rooftops and like really just like. So in that case, I can definitely concede blue.
Yeah, it's also just like there are technically puzzles in DMC, like there are puzzle rooms, and that's to help break up like the pace between combat areas and such. But like we don't think of Dante as the puzzle guy or like the big brain guy. We think of him as I'm gonna shoot a pool ball with a gun and it's gonna hit a bunch of other pool balls and it's gonna hit the demons. And like he's got that half angel, half demon, or half human, half demon thing. So black and white in there too is like a good dichotomy. So I'd say red, black, white is probably pretty good.
And I can agree with that for sure. Specifically because like when you talk like Dante, once again, like if we go by like the Big Daddy argument, Dante is definitely a plot point in his world for sure. Yeah. In his very dark world. To the point like his pseudonym is Tony Redgrave. He lives on like 1, 2, 3 Slaughter Avenue or some shit. Like at least in the game. In the anime, he lives in Brooklyn. So even worse.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Only scarier place is the Bronx.
Oh my god.
But like, for sure, I would definitely say, red, white, and black.
Plus, he's required. So red has to be in there, and like we got the black and white. What are his guns named after all?
True that. Every now yes, you make a good point, and I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think that if he were a card, I think that since specifically Dante himself has a lot to do with equipment, there should at least be like to like best exemplify his how he like looks for devil arms. I think there should be like there'd be an effect like when he ETBs. It's not you get an equipment card. It'd be like first 5. If one of those 5 is an equipment card, add it to your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library.
I could kind of see that. Part of me wants to lean a little bit because I feel like a lot of characters are picking up different weapons and like power-ups and guns and such over the course of a lot of their games.
Fair.
I feel like the only reason some of the characters above haven't is because they're not the protagonist. Is like GLaDOS isn't protagonist, Sans isn't protagonist. Like Sora is, but we literally made him all colors.
Right.
And he gets everything. Big Daddy's not the protagonist. But there's so many that like, well, they pick up different weapons. Yeah, there's just like they pick up a lot of weapons, and so like they do that. I think that's both that and also like one of the famous things about him is he's a showman, and also he is hard to kill. Every demon has learned it is hard to kill Dante. You cut him in half,
That's
he
true.
throws it back. So I would go so far as to give him regenerate like Wolverine.
That actually I can get jiggy with that. I definitely get jiggy with that. And I guess like not to argue against your point.
No,
but
yeah.
I think that like the difference between Dante's acquisition of weapons beside as opposed to like Joker
or Shepard
or Shepard and things like that. I think it's the fact that like with Shepard, like when he's picking up a weapon, 9 times out of 10 he's picking up like he's not picking up like a mainstay weapon. He's picking up like, oh, here's the umpteenth laser assault rifle I found on the ground. As opposed to Dante picking up like actual like legendary items like Cerberus and things of that nature, like making a weapon out of like a motorcycle demon. And so that's why I think that would be best for Dante. But like, of course, like Agent 47, like if Agent 47 hits the field, you're just gonna search your deck for an equipment card that says gun. Right?
Yeah, no. For Joker's for Joker's neutral special, he wields a gun.
Gun.
Dude, I still love that Smash clip. Just for his neutral special, he wields a gun. A classic video clip. But yeah, I could get behind him having that equipment deal and then maybe regenerate as like a second ability. So
yeah, Dante, I'm with that for sure.
Yeah, Dante, red, black, white, also known for those who are keeping track of all the names I've been spewing for all of the multiple colors, Mardu. So, yeah.
Got you. Boom. Now,
okay.
you
have to explain. I know truly nothing about this. I had to Google what Onimusha was. You can execute me for that? I'm sorry.
Nah, you good, man. You good. This is like the top one. Let's go. So, Samanosuke Akechi, stereotypical samurai. So that off top means white and red. Hands down, white and red. So like very much honor based. He's standing on business. He like literally started off the game. He starts off his game sniping Oda Nobunaga off of a horse with a bow and arrow. Like,
that's a start to a game. He's ending like the period of war in Japan. If he's taking out Oda Nobunaga, like that's a
So this is like 1600s warring states period.
Yeah,
straight up JFK's Oda Nobunaga, and so from there, Oda Nobunaga gets resurrected by demons, and so with Samanosuke, what happens is, he discovers like this gauntlet called the Oni Gauntlet. And so the Oni Gauntlet, what it does is it absorbs the souls of demons and it uses it to enhance his power. So like red souls, like he can use for upgrades for his weapons. Yellow souls heal his health. Blue souls heal his magic. And so from there he can use magic attacks. He also picks up weapons, but he picks up weapons like Dante picks up weapons, not like Agent 47 or Shepard. So very much like if he gets like a pair of swords, he's not just throwing them away. It's like, oh, these are the dual swords of like murder. Their special effect is kill. Or like he gets like the broadsword of incineration. His special effect arson. Things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And so in that case, I feel that like I'm already saying red or white because good soldier, right? And then finally, I would personally say red and white.
You said it's a demon gauntlet he's wearing, right?
Yeah,
Would we think black?
that's what I was gonna say. Like, first off, the fact that he sniped Oda Nobunaga, like straight up, like mid-war. Like, first off, like
So cold. That's
like,
so cold.
insanely cold and very ambitious. He was knocking off world leaders. Like, it's like that's ambition for you. So I would
My man
definitely
was on
say
the grassy knoll, like
very much like right there. Then someone else get Harvey Oswald. But yeah, so for sure I would say black could definitely be in there. And then also specifically like his interaction with the occult and things of that nature, to the point where like he ends up like working with like the Oni clan and things of that nature to get like the demons out. And so yeah, I would definitely say black for sure. Because green would be, I feel like green would be too much of a write-off. And then blue, of course, like he knows magic, but he's not a magician. And then and yeah. So yeah, I would say black would be the best third color for him.
I definitely feel like you got some favorite game love for red, black, white characters.
Oh no, for sure. Because I think with red, black, white characters, those are the characters that give like those are like your stereotypical those are your stereotypical characters. Those are the guys that are going to give you your your good story. Like, for example, like let me see, who else did I make? Who else did we make?
I mean, Dante.
Oh yeah, Dante. Yeah, once again, another like you got your pizza eating demon slayer for sure. Like, I think red, black, and white is the recipe for an iconic protagonist. Also, a little bit of bias because I'm also super into Capcom games. Like, even like I think the only exception to a Capcom protagonist that would be red, black, and white would be like Beautiful Joe. He's more red, black, and green. I know red, white, and green. Because that's upgrades, passion, and moral code. But that's just me going off.
Is Akechi incredibly like emotionally driven, or
yes,
okay.
Like to the point where like a lot 90% of his scenes when he sees someone die, like he's clenching his fist and all those polygons are shaking because it's a PS2 game, and he's just there. He's just right there.
That single polygon is just like ready.
Exactly. Like hell, even though if you swap them out for like Jubei Yagyu, same song and dance. Well, actually, Jubei Yagyu would be more. You would change his black for green as well, because Jubei Yagyu isn't as ambitious because he's more duty bound and grows based off of his duty boundness.
All right, cool. All right, now this one, I know you're gonna think we're gonna put black with Doom Guy. We
Definitely
can't.
not.
Definitely not. My man is the most mono red, emotion driven character that has ever existed.
Oh, for sure. When your entire game is like crashing out on the demons of hell, like no rhyme or reason.
It is a franchise long crash out. You ever have? There's only one other character that had a franchise long crash out, and then they came out with God of War PS4, and he calmed the fuck down. Like, outside of Kratos, and fun fact, if that new Secret Lair coming out, that PS4 or that PlayStation 1, they've got old Kratos, and he is red. Everything gets haste. Everything deals damage in combat a ton. He is the most violent card I've ever seen. And then they got older Kratos, who's just like a much more chill card that can partner with his son.
I mean, honestly, I feel like older Kratos would probably like red, white.
Kratos as a adult is I can check that. You nailed it on the money. He is Kratos, stoic father, red white.
Yeah, because I was like, because in the earlier games, it's like, yeah, he was just mad, but now he has literally like from like Ragnarok at the end when the stuff happens and he realizes, wow, like my violence has a purpose and I don't have to just be a crash out. beautiful game, by the way. If you want a game that'll like really like deconstruct like the myth of masculinity, and I think it's beautiful. Like, just to go on a little tangent, I think it's beautiful that God of War Ragnarok, the 2 games in Norse mythology, use Norse mythology, because that is a mythology that has so much of the stereotypical masculine nature wrapped around it, where like Thor is represented as this like hulking man, where he was really just like he had a gut. He was a chubby man, but like, say that to his face and see what happens, right? Or like how Odin was seen as this like genius inventor. He knew everything, but bro straight up abused his wife, robbed dudes for power, beheaded a guy and forced him to live forever as his own personal computer. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like where like the last 2 God of War games that we got were very much essential for showing gamers the demystifying of that masculine myth of just like, oh yeah, if you dominate, you know what you're doing, then you got it, and blah 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 blah. And I think that was powerful in and of itself. But back to the main stuff. Yeah, no, right away.
No, 100%. That was absolutely agreed on every level. I think the we must be better between Kratos and Thor is like we could be these crash out yelling characters, and like I think just the dichotomy of like, look at what Kratos was and look at Kratos now saying what I was wrong. What you thought was the cool fun character was me needing help, and now I'm here, and now I'm emotionally stable. I have a son I need to look out for. I got a dad beard. Like I'm trying to do better, and like he is, and it's great. I love those games.
It's beautiful, and I think like honestly, like when he was like, oh, my son calls your daughter Fred, and all that, I was like, dog, I was about to cry, high key. That shit was so real. But yeah, no. Oh no, sorry, please.
Yeah, no, just game series so good. He need what was it? The voice actor for Kratos needs to make sure he does a 27-minute long speech at the Game Awards. Did you hear about that? So one Game Awards, he did not like 27 minutes long, but it was a very long speech. And then the next year, he joked about it being longer than the Call of Duty campaign.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man, Christopher Judge, amazing.
That's it, Chris Judge.
Yeah. Yep. Well, but all in all, I think that what's beautiful about like say characters like cards like Kratos or cards like blah 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 cards like Sly and things of that nature, where like the colors progress as the character progresses. I think that's also a fun part of it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were talking about that with Sub-Zero of him being mono blue and then blue white when he reaches Grandmaster, and that's like like I know that the Spider-Man the Spider-Man set that came out recently, they gave him a lot of there's multiple copies of like all these Spider-Man. It's so confusing. But like if you give a couple copies to certain very key characters to show like the growth they've had, then like that can mean a lot.
For sure.
Like you can see like that progression. So I think that's really cool. So thank you, Doom Guy, for being our window into speaking about Kratos and God of War for 20 minutes. You are appreciated and your sacrifice is noted.
I salute my troops.
Hey, I will say, Doom 2016's Doom still stands up. That game is hella fun.
Oh no, for sure, it's beautiful. And then also before we move on to Steve from Minecraft, the only other character that I can't believe I didn't add him to the list, that would be like one of the ideal like mono reds.
I was gonna see if you were gonna. All right, go ahead. I think I know who it is.
Billy Blazkowicz.
Interesting. I had a completely different character. I was kind of shocked wasn't on the list.
Who?
Master Chief.
Yo, you right. yo, you right. I ain't gonna lie. The Xbox kids gonna be mad at me, dog.
It's okay. They can stay mad. Enjoy your Xbox Ally. I ain't got no Xbox. Hold that L.
Enjoy your Halo dreams. Oh, but of course, Steve from Minecraft gotta be green. Green is definitely there.
Yeah, I think that this would be a good time to maybe do green blue, both because like the colors there, and like if you've seen like big brain Minecraft creations, like they make some crazy stuff.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Minecraft rewards you for a lot of that creativity to like make a lot of stuff, and you have to remember. You don't have to remember the recipes, but like someone could like ask me right now, what's the pickaxe recipe in Minecraft, and like everyone who's played Minecraft could tell you. Everyone who's played Minecraft could tell you how to make a sword. Everyone like that's just learning those is like part of the game, and like all those recipes. I think green blue is like a good balance of everything.
Oh, for sure. And I think even more so is the fact that like technically, like right, if you're playing like Minecraft, then technically Canon Steve, like you are Canon Steve. So when Steve makes when you make like those gigantic buildings, one can assume that Steve has the capability to make those. So yeah, green and blue, I agree with wholeheartedly.
Green and blue.
Yeah, I think I can think of like I don't think any other color would really like any other color would just be like adding extra and it wouldn't really fit him very well.
I was saying green and blue, and like it'd be like, oh, red because he's so famously crashing out all the time.
Yeah, I was saying yes, the famous Steve crash.
The famous Steve crash out. I mean,
fighting the Ender Dragon and the Wither. All right.
Yeah. To be fair, if I'm trying to kill the Ender Dragon and I'm in a hardcore world and I die, that I'm crashing a little bit.
Gladly, yes. What? Like, let me die in hardcore and have to like start from square one after I made my utopia with like a working, functioning government. Like, yeah, no, I'm burning it to the ground.
There will be no survivors. Speaking of no survivors, though. We went from Isaac in the Binding to Isaac in Dead Space.
I'm thinking with Isaac Clarke. I'm honestly thinking. Blue because of ingenuity.
Yeah, no, he's an engineer, and we all know all engineers are the smartest people on the planet.
I've never met a dumb one yet.
I've never been biased on that in my entire life. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah, no, definitely blue. I would say blue, and do you think his interactions with the Xenomorphs would be more red or black?
I think that Isaac is a very emotionally driven character for like his wife and such. The black is really like he's doing his best to avoid the black. Like my man does not want to be here. He is stomping on these things like he is just I'd say very very blue. He is an engineer at heart and just trying to do his thing, and then maybe some red.
If anything, yeah, I honestly like, and if we're being real, it makes the most sense.
Yeah, no, he's a pretty mad, like he's not a mad scientist or something like that, but he's pretty emotional. I think that Dead Space 3, especially with like his kind of like mental trips and stuff like that, is like the big emotion part of Dead Space with like the like visions and such. So I'd say red fits.
Oh no, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. I agree wholeheartedly. But now here we come. Here it is. The real star of the show, Tom Nook from Animal Crossing. What you feeling?
Oh, so I'm thinking we go white black, also known as Orzhov. The tax man cometh. You wanna, have some land? That's fine. Just take a little bit of some money from me and make sure you pay it back with some interest, and it'll be fine. Like that was like where I got it from. Like people could argue green because Animal Crossing is all about nature. But if there's anything the entire internet has agreed on, it's not that Tom Nook is the face of nature. It's that he is the tax man cometh incarnate.
For sure.
And so I think that white black is a fun way that you can play on like the darker jokes about Tom Nook robbing you blind, and then white on like maybe it's like whenever you go to cast a spell, pay mana, or that person creates a treasure, stuff like that. Like really playing with the taxation effects of magic. And by the end of it, if someone's cursing Tom Nook's name, you've made a good card.
Oh, for sure. If anything, like I think that's what I want to name the money deck I want to make, like the treasure building deck. I'd name it Tom Crook. Just straight up Tom Crook. That's exactly what I want. And that because like now that I've gotten a little more seasoned into Magic and all that, and I've been like I made my I made my own I remade my energy deck and all that. I definitely feel like I now have the confidence, and I feel like I've garnered enough love for the game to like really try to make some wacky decks, and it's no longer about winning or losing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And if anything, now next, Max Payne. And I was thinking, honestly, like it only gets worse from 1 to 3. So of course I'm gonna say red.
Hear me out.
Okay. You disagree. Do you disagree because of Max Payne 3?
No, I disagree because the movie was in black and white. And I think
This guy.
and also, again, it's kind of like a trapping when you're working with the colors. Red being like that driven emotion, like it is that heartfelt of the character. It's so easy to put red in a character. Like if a dude's angry at something, going, well, he's got to have red in there because he went on this adventure. But like half the time, the reason the character's doing the video game adventure is because they'd have red in them. So like if you're trying to keep it reasonably balanced, you got to keep that in mind too. And so he's emotionally driven in like the first game for sure. For sure. But I like black and white a little bit more. Maybe just black. Or I could see red black if you really want to make sure that like the heart of Max Payne is in there.
I would say because
yeah.
if we're going from 1 to 3, I would say 1 definitely red, and I would say 1 red black.
I could get behind that.
I would say. Oh, sorry. What up?
No, I was gonna say I could get behind red black.
Nice. Let's say red black 1, and then in Max Payne 2, I would say red black white because there's some hope. And then Max Payne 3, black white.
I like that. So there's a card in Magic that they've made sort of like homages to, and I think this would be like a good way for like Max Payne. It's called Figure of Destiny. It's a card that is just a single red-white hybrid mana, and then it can kind of level up where it starts as a 1/1. You pay some mana and it levels up to like a 2/2. You pay some mana and it levels up to like a higher ability, and it's like over the course of the games. And so having Max Payne be like a red-black, then a red-black-white, and then a white-black to like go through these different steps as like he's making his journey to be his ultimate self would be like a cool way to show that transition. And we were talking earlier about how so many characters are changing colors throughout their games, but like that's the motto of a good character.
Oh no, for sure. And I think in this case specifically with Max Payne, like honestly, like if we had like a saga to like go through like each critical moment that changed him, so like at the end of 1, end of 2, and then like maybe like beginning of 3 or whatever, or like just have it like where like kind of like a artifact saga type situation where it's like the artifact is a pill bottle, but in his relationship with that pill bottle changes through each game.
Yeah, wholeheartedly. So,
hey, Wizards of the Coast, keep these notes, baby.
Now I gotta for this one I gotta take a pause for a second. So there's a friend of mine, Misty Step, has been wanting a Resident Evil Secret Lair or just some kind of Resident Evil set for so long. And I'm just going to tell them Leon S. Kennedy's mono white. He is the most white man I've ever seen. Where is everybody going? Church is the corniest line, no matter how much I love it.
That's fair.
Like, I think Leon is just a good mono white card. I think that he's just a good soldier. He's not like Wesker, where he's trying to do some manipulative stuff and is like the definition of black as far as like the colors. He's not Chris Redfield, who's like punching boulders in the most iconic scene, one of the most iconic scenes in all of video games. If you haven't seen the Resident 5 Boulder Punch, do yourself a favor and look that up because it is one of the things that is why I love video games.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that Leon himself is just a good soldier, dude, cop. Like he's just that very, very simple.
I would say the only thing I would say, just for the shenanigans, his use of herbs and his like combinate and his combining stuff to make new weapons. I would say green and blue. I would say he's banned.
I would argue, I think it's Leon and Claire in the first game, right? Or
in the first game, like I'm talking like Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, who's in 1? Was that Chris or was it
1? That's Chris. That's Chris Wesker.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So Leon is 4, which is the one I played with him. Which ones were also Leon?
4 is Leon. 6 is Leon. Technically 9 is Requiem is also going to be Leon. But he was
Resident Evil 2. That's it.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, it was 2. 2.
That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
That one. Yeah, that's it.
I feel like the big thing was Leon was not always like generally the brains of his side of the story. He was usually like he's usually like the more of like the cop kind of deal. I guess he's more well-rounded, but like he's not. I don't think of Leon and go, yeah, he's really like intellectually driven.
That's fair. And because in my case, like I'll admit my argument was a bit shallow. I was hoping I could push it past you, but like that's also fair. That's also fair. Where it's when you talk about Leon, like the first thing anyone mentions about Leon is his uncanny accuracy and how he was able to keep two single stacked magazines fully loaded in a firefight where he spent well over his ammo. Like that's the first thing we talk about when it comes to Leon.
we love our white boy who's doing unnecessary backflips to avoid something cutting him in half. Like he is that extra, and we love him for it.
Oh yeah, bro was doing backflips and hitting the worm just to avoid a laser. Like that man was built different, dog. So maybe I will completely agree with White, just because like Leon as a character is just good guy. He's just dude. He's just I will do this.
And I cannot emphasize this is not us like saying anything like that's bad. Like
it's not bad at all.
If there's not like a good thing, like a good character to like compare against, like him existing makes Wesker that much more of a bastard. Like
for sure. Exactly.
And like putting him into Resident Evil 4 was perfect to show like the twisted place of the landscape, because you put one of the most white guys in there with some of the corniest one-liners I've ever heard.
For sure. Like the game was made in that game was made in the early 2000s, or like in the either early 2000s or 90s, right?
Yeah. Resident Evil 4, RE4 came out. It was 2007.
Yeah. So 07? Yeah. No, that's like 2 years after Crank that. Oh, I think so. No, probably not. But yeah, no. Either way, yeah. We were not. That was not exactly a great year for video game writing. Now, video games great, but like the writing, like even like only in the Onimusha series, like Onimusha 2, like Jubei had a line with one of your allied characters, and he was like the man that thinks he'll never get caught will get caught someday, and it's like nah, son, this ain't the time. So I'll say this much: Capcom isn't known for their writing until Dante comes along.
I stand by though, even though the writing isn't like the most smooth and like famous of like the quality, it's still, I could quote that game all day, every day. Corny but fun, I'll take all day over like not corny but bad.
Of course, no.
Any day.
Of course, I completely agree. It's like if there was that line was like a Weird Al Yankovic bar. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't making it to the BET Awards, but you won't forget it. So yeah, no, all in all, I definitely agree with Leon being white. But now for the last, but not least on the list, one of the most iconic women in video game history, Samus.
Okay.
Metroid.
Samus Aran, the most badass woman in gaming. The
Very
iconic. They show up, they shoot an alien in the face, they kick a bomb down a tunnel. They are so fun. So how much of the Samus, like the Metroid lore, do you know?
Me, I honestly, after the other M, I gave up on wanting to learn it because like the other M was like, bro, I was like, yo, like I was like, yo, that game was real. Like I played that game sleepy, and I was like, yo, this is just a bad game.
Yeah. Other M was pretty rough, but as far as like Samus themselves, I mean, we know they're a bounty hunter,
Right.
but it's less they're going and just shooting people, and more they're going and dealing with alien species that are causing problems. Famously, the Metroids, thus the name.
Right.
So I know we're talking about colors, but I just have to say this: for her creature type, she'd be a human, alien, bird. She is part bird, and that's just wonderful.
Because of Ridley?
No, Chozo DNA. It's like this bird alien species that took care of her. Yeah, she's part bird.
Well, I just learned something new.
Yeah, so there you go. Bayonetta got the monkey finger feet, and now Samus got the bird person. So
oh yeah, because of the I was always wondering how she shot that gun because I thought it was like it would be something in like the heel that she just pressed down on, but how she pressing down on the heel in midair.
That's what you're questioning is what the canon thing is. I just say she got monkey feet, but I digress.
She got monkey feet is crazy. It's like triggering the toes.
but yeah, so Samus, I've played like a couple of the games. The most recent one, Dread, I played a lot of. And overall, it's a lot of her like getting that species with the Metroids and such. So I would say either blue white or blue white red. But I could argue just blue white and have the red be a separate thing and have it be Zero Suit Samus and Samus Aran. The difference for people who aren't super knowledgeable in the lore, and this is kind of the other M thing, Zero Suit Samus is Samus without her big iron suit, and Samus Aran would be her with the suit. It's kind of the idea of like Tony Stark and Iron Man.
Makes sense.
And so yeah, just like how we have the Buster Sword, having having the her spacesuit, or like the different mark of her armors that give like different immunities. Maybe get one suit that gives protection from each color. So she could have the fire suit, she could have the acid suit, she could have this, and now she has a bunch of protective suits. She could wear them all and be completely safe.
I dig it.
Yeah, so that's what I'd go with. I'd go with blue white. Plus, making her a bird gets you to put her in some really funny commander decks. Having a tribal chocobo deck and then Samus Aran shows up is just a good time.
That would be funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like imagine just like what's the one card makes creatures of a type 1 less? Herald
of the Horn.
Yep. Yeah, like just like dropping that and just like, oh yeah, here's the chocobo, and then up for 1 less. Sense.
Here comes a human woman, wham, and
I didn't explain the lore. And like you can explain the lore while someone just tries to call a judge in. Like, what is this?
But overall, I think that Samus is sick. I love Metroid. Didn't love Other M, but otherwise, I can't wait for more Prime games. Like,
for sure.
That's so exciting.
Like I remember I got into Metroid because of the multiplayer game where I played like GoldenEye a little bit. That game was interesting, and also Samus was one of my mains in Smash Bros. Until I switched to Pit.
Yeah, that's fair. I was always a Pikachu main because I like comboing people because I am just the worst.
That's fair. That's fair. No, do what you gotta do. My thing would be just like sniping people away from the stage.
Yeah, I'm either keeping you from getting the ledge or lightning looping you. And if you know what a lightning loop is, I'm sorry.
I've heard tale of lightning loop.
So, Okay, so we got to the bottom. Do we want to do Master Chief as like an appeasement to the Xbox players, or
You know what? Just because I got a little time on my hands, Master Chief it is.
all right?
Honestly, with Master Chief, like, let's be real, like it's giving, like, I mean, good soldier, but are we gonna give him blue? So red, it's giving red or white, but we're gonna give him blue.
I would argue if it's Master Chief with Cortana, absolutely. If he doesn't have Cortana, he doesn't have blue. Like that's it. And not just because she's blue, but because she is like the brains of it. He's asking Cortana for the information. He doesn't know.
That's true.
So I'd say if it's like Master Chief and it's supposed to be like fully decked out Master Chief, like from the games, that means he has Cortana. Oh, he's got blue. No doubt.
But with okay, and that makes sense. Once again,
I would kind of argue no red but green.
Holla at me. What? Tell me.
So what
got you thinking like that?
So Master Chief, while he is like a iconic badass soldier with like the one-liners that everyone loves, like his emotions really only come into play as much with Cortana herself, and that's in like the later games. As far like otherwise he's just like I'm gonna go kick a bomb into the enemy. I'm gonna go shoot down this alien horde and go fight that dude. Like he's not as much of like a they have betrayed me, I need to deal with them. This is because of my own personal feelings on it. It's a I'm a good soldier, I'm gonna go do this. So I'd either say mono white or green white because I could see mono white, but green white would be more of a what is the mark armor that he is, what does the armor that he does do? It gives him super strength, super speed. He is like lifting everything. So I'd either go mono white or green white for like that focus on strength and bodily capability. Like green is the color of like physical strength through this. And so I'd either say just white or green white and then blue. But like the Chief isn't like the emotionally unstable one. That'd be like later Cortana.
That's true. And
Like
honestly, I can see that.
Yeah, I think that Chief is like I could see mono white with a splash of blue for Cortana. Plus mono white would put him like Cloud with like getting weapons and such. But yeah, I like Chief as like white. Plus white really leans into the John Doe. He is the generic soldier.
Very much. I'll be honest. Like I thought Master was his first name. Chief was his last name. It took me until I was at least in high school to find out Master Chief was an actual position in the military.
Yeah, and that his name is John Doe, which is also just a nickname for like military personnel and such. I can't remember where the actual like term John Doe came from.
I was like, because I thought John Doe was like, oh, if we can't identify the body.
Yeah, it's for unidentified.
Yeah. So, but no,
yeah.
No. In that case, I wholeheartedly agree with this for sure. In that case, what is one card? What is one moment from video game? What is one video game moment that you would make into a card?
What is one video game moment that I would make into a card? Wow, that is a hard one. There are a lot of iconic moments in video games.
Right.
I could. Part of me wanted to do Link and Mario clashing with each other in Brawl just to see how that card would work. But like, if I had to pick any moment, this one I would want to see how they would do it. It would be probably a Wrath of God, but I'd be so curious how they could make it into a card. It would be the moment from I can't remember the name I can't remember the name of this series. It's a Capcom game where Azura's Wrath, when the dude puts his finger to like crush Azura right before he hits, like the finger is just caught under the ground and Azura is literally holding up someone larger than Earth from smashing him into the planet. I'd be so curious how you make that moment into a card. Like, what do you do for that?
That's actually a real good point. Let me see, because I'm seeing if I can scoop up the image right now.
Oh yeah, the Azura's Wrath.
Because I found the image. I found the image of him with the finger, but like they memed it. It's just it's that blue. It's the nut bite. Hang on, let me switch screens real quick.
Yeah, here's what I would probably have done. This is some Here's a photo that I found for this. I sent you a photo that kind of gives like the idea that I was looking at into Discord.
All right, bet. Let me check the cellular real quick.
I just think, oh wait, you know what? I thought of one better one. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
please.
mentioned it earlier. I mentioned it earlier. Chris Redfield punching a boulder.
I like it. I like it.
That moment right there. I think the Azura's Wrath finger thing is cool, but Chris Redfield punching a boulder is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I love it. I love it. Let me download this. And I'm going to just text it to myself.
Yeah. You've seen like Boulder Punch, right?
Yeah. I remember when I played 5. It was, oh my gosh, it was so good.
So good. Again, I love any media that is like corny and dumb, but it knows it and leans into it. I'm all over that.
For sure.
I'm here for it.
Like quality, self-aware media is hard to find nowadays. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see. All right, and then now let me switch the window like I said I would. There, boom, and there. All right, here it is. All right, so what will we do with this wrath?
Oh. So to go over like what happens from here, effectively, right before that giant finger crushes him, he proceeds to catch it. It pushes him just about to hit the ground, and then he starts punching it with his other arms, pushing it back up until it sort of goes up the dude's finger and blows up the giant dude. But there's just that moment where he's just under a finger of a dude larger than Earth itself. And it's the most insane moment I'd ever seen back in the day.
This is quality aura farming, I'm not gonna lie.
Azura's Wrath is the most definition of like, I think him, Doom Guy, and Kratos are like the red characters of like, or OG Kratos at least, of like
for sure.
I'm gonna ore farm and I'm gonna kill stuff. Like that's all I'm here to do. Like yeah. So what would it what would the name of it be?
Because if in this case it's a wrath, right? We're saying that this giant finger is about to we're saying that this giant finger is clearing out the battlefield.
Yeah, Azura's. I'm trying to remember the name. I'm trying to remember the name of the character whose finger it is.
Oh, it's Wyzen. Wyzen.
That's it. Or yeah. So you could do like you could do like the touch of Wyzen.
Yeah, that worked too. Let me just change the color of the text. Very good. That's a touch Wizen's. All right, even better. Wizen's impact.
Wizen's impact. I like that a lot.
And then from there, what's the casting cost?
I'm gonna go. The casting cost would probably make it pretty big. It would be. Let's do it like a normal Wrath kind of cost. So we'll do 3. And then do we want this to be like a white Wrath or a red Wrath? This is like a kind of crushing kind of deal.
Yeah, because this looks like it's giving red Wrath to me.
Yeah, I say 3 red.
So boom. Wait for that. Two, three, and this red. We're just gonna imagine that's on there.
If we want, we could do 3 red white, and that still hits 5 and is close enough.
All right, but let me see.
There we go.
Oh, that shows up. Boom.
Okay, 3 red white. Wizen's impact seems good.
Yep. So this would be the card, and then effect wise would just be. Let me see. Card type. Of course, this would be
Sorcery.
Yeah, I know. It would be sorcery. Boom. And then subtype. No subtype. Unless. Wrath. Just make it subtype Wrath. Yeah, let me fix the color on that.
Let's say there's no subtype Wrath. I feel like there's a couple cards that'd be fighting to get that added to them. But if we want to have that for flavor, put it on there. Hell yeah.
A little season. A little
bit of seasoning for it. Okay, ability effect. This is a 5-mana Wrath that has red in it. I'm gonna say given the fact that the dude under the finger survives this, we could have it be that target creature you control gets indestructible until end of turn. So white is also a lot about protecting both yourself and others, and so target creature you control gets indestructible until end of turn. Sorry for making you have to spell indestructible.
Hey, Kevin. Oh, 2 L's. Boom, my bad. Boom, there we go. Our creature goes indestructible until end of turn. And then let's see. Yep, let me change that color to white.
And then how many episodes of Azur's Wrath were there?
Because should about 20 something. Not or if we're counting counting or not counting counting or not counting the hidden episodes as well as the DLC.
I was gonna say and then it deals that much damage to each player or each creature. So whatever the number of episodes was.
Right, and then it says target creature you control in the turn and deals.
No. So this is a minor thing. You put period, space, and then you could either say this card or then say the name of this card. That way it's not the creature dealing this much. Or I guess we could have it be that creature deals the damage, but then do we want the creature to be dealing the damage that's surviving this?
I think it should be, because I think the overall idea is that I think the overall idea is that not only are we tanking what's happening, we are also dishing it out.
Yeah. Then That's kind of like Azura's response versus Wizen's touch. Like Wizen's not doing the card effect, then it's what Azura's doing.
Also,
Z. It's spelled with a Z.
oh. Oh. No, it's spelled with
No,
S.
you're right. You're right. I'm dumb. I've been spelling with a Z for years now.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Ignore me.
You're good, man. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that works pretty good. Azura's reversal.
See if I can.
So it'd be target creature gets indestructible until end of turn, and then you could put that creature then deals X, or that creature then deals, and then we could put a number that is substantial.
Then deals a number that's so it's something like 8, 5.
Let's do for good wrath. Yeah, we could do 8.
It's 8
damage to each other creature, or to each creature. Oh, put other creature because that prevents like weird loops.
Right, each other creature. And then I'm trying to see if I can. Let's see, medium text. Nope. Okay, this is fine.
You put a period at the end of all the text.
Yeah. Hang on. Oh, there we go. And then yep, icon, type, art scale, choose a frame. This will be borderless. Boom. But then I just want to see if I can give like a nice dark. Hey, choose a frame. Let's see. Nope. It's gonna be.
Gold would usually be for multicolored cards.
Bet. And there. So now let me just adjust. Don't worry. I just got to adjust the art up and down. So we want to want up. Almost there. Nope, too high. Let's put it. Oh, put it.
Oh, it's going the other way.
Let me see. That's weird. Usually negative Y would be. Oh.
Oh, no, it loaded. It went up. Keep going lower on the Y.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then.
Give it a second.
All right. Let me see some art scale. Let me bring it down a bit. Oh, load off to the side. So let me fix the X on that. This should be the move to the right. So,
Thinking about it, I don't think there's any loops about a creature dealing damage to itself from a single instance like this. I think we can get rid of the word other, just because then the creature is literally hitting everybody, and it survived because it was indestructible.
makes sense. Boom to each creature. And plus, it would have indestructible doesn't mean you don't take damage; it just means you don't die.
Yeah.
So which would make sense because in this case, he's taking damage. He just won't die.
He takes the finger on the chin. He just survives and pushes back against it.
Exactly. So in this case, I like it. Right. Hey, Wizards of the Coast, you looking for some card designers? I know a couple guys. And if
you make this card, royalties in the mail, right? Because
you know what I'm saying. I'll send the Cuban Links invoice. But yeah, so in this case, this would be a gorgeous card.
The borderless version of this, like you were showing before, would be beautiful.
What? Man.
I mean, you do the full art gold.
Full art gold. Gotcha. Full art gold. Boom.
Oh, because we moved it up, so it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
All right, we can go back on the border.
Yeah.
Full art means that the art would go underneath would include into the text box.
All right, and in that case, yeah, I mean, it looks good the way it is. Yeah, I'll just check it back to regular thing.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But yeah, no, in this case, But yeah, no, this honestly. Oh no, I reset everything. Oh Lord. Why? why.
So we move. Oh.
See, I know what I'm doing a little bit. Let me just art scale, slide back 6:3, and
Bold move to say I know what I'm doing and then immediately destroy the art.
hang on.
I mean, I think the art scale was at 100, and then you just needed to move it up a little bit on the wide, like negative 180.
Yeah, hang on. 100, and then negative 180. Here we come. And back to where we started.
I think we need. Well, no, I think we need to zoom in on the art scale a little bit more because I think we're still under because we're still off the side. So maybe for the art scale, the third bar, we can do like 140.
On it.
See how that looks.
A little close.
Closer. 120. Cut in the middle.
I'm down for it. 120. Let me see.
Oh, you have to click out of there, yeah.
Oh, and they show you 120. Hang on, let me see. Yeah, no, I'm gonna fix that up. Preview. Hang on, let me.
There it is. Look at our card.
Why is it such a struggle? This is it. So reversal. Blah blah blah. 180, and then just put the frame on it.
There we go.
Back to the same one issue.
Now we just go to the Y. Oh, it was 118 was the original percent. I was close with the 120.
Very
and
close.
we put that to like negative 180, and we should be okay. Yeah, 175, 176 around there. Yeah.
And boom, yeah, car design, you know what I mean? We here. And then just slide this back just a little bit. Down 100. 199.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, don't worry, it's all good. Now all I have to do is slide to the right and then slide it down a little bit.
Okay.
Right? And then yep, a little bit more to the right and we're good.
I think you just have it at 0 because that would be the center.
Yeah, that'd probably be better. Ain't no 0. Let's see. In that case, worst comes to worst, we'll just change the scale by a small increment. There we go. Office. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an episode of the Cuban Links card building class. How you make your own proxies of famous cards like a Source Reversal.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, but if anything, I could talk to you for hours on end about this. But alas, it is time for dinner. Thank you so much, Troy. Yo, Cell came back right on time. That man said, finally.
I've been here the whole time, gang.
Yeah, man, just been vibing. He's been enjoying the magic.
He said,
did we do Sora justice in your opinion? Because you were talking about Sora.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Okay, all right. That's what mattered to me. That's what mattered to me.
That's all we needed. But if anything, wonderful to have you on, Troy. We got to have you on again. It's been a lovely pleasure having you around. Shout out to all the people watching. We had up to 5 viewers at one point. You know what I mean? Hey, I ain't saying nothing, but hey, now they're looking for us. You know what I'm saying? The 5 viewers. Hey, and I'll take my offer letter in the mail, Illuminati. But thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on. Shout out to all the viewers. Shout out to all the lurkers. Shout out to everyone who was watching while it was on work. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. It's nothing but love, and we are the CubanLinxPodcast, and we are out. Peace, love, and free Palestine.
All right.